What is going on, y'all? It's your boy VeLL here, back with another Mobile Legends video, and we're going to be doing some tips and some tricks and guides and stuff like that. We're going to be going over in this video understanding the ADC role, because a lot of people always ask me about this and you all wanted some tips from me. So yeah, I definitely want to just explain things from my perspective. I mean, obviously a lot of different people are going to have a lot of different ways of doing things and understanding things, but I like to think about things as abstractly as possible and from just an open point of view, not forcing my play style on people and stuff like that. And that's one thing that I see a lot when people do give tips and tricks and stuff. It's like, this is the way it's done, this is the right way, that's the only way, that's just it. When in reality, there's the thing about being part of a competitive community and a competitive game is that different strategies works for different people if you know how to make the strategy work. So there's a lot of different ways to play anything, but the basics of an ADC is to attack, damage, and carry. That's what ADC stands for: attack, damage, carry. But before we break down the ADC, go ahead and drop that thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. It really helps the channel grow, obviously, and yeah, it just shows me that you all like the content and it keeps me motivated to keep making the content for you all. So yeah, go ahead and drop that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. But let's get into it. So attack, damage, carry. Basically, as an ADC, which is a marksman character, if you don't know, an ADC is more than likely going to be a marksman character because ADCs are capable of dealing what I like to call safe damage. And what that means is basically an ADC's job is always to hide behind someone, more than likely. It's not to be on the front lines just attacking people. And I mean, at certain points throughout the game, you can get strong enough to do that. But even when you're doing that, you're supposed to know that that's not what you should be doing. Even when you're strong enough to do that and you're like super cocky, like, yo, they can't mess with me. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It feels good being able to destroy people, but you have to know that that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And I think that's part of the problem. Like, certain things that people just should not be doing, I think that they should be doing it because it works out sometimes. No, certain things will work out in Mobile Legends, especially because they have a lot of balance issues and stuff like that. Certain things will work out that just should not work out, and that won't always work out. So it's very, very important to understand your character, understand your role, and understand what you should be doing to really support your team, because that's what it's all about, is the teamwork. But yeah, as an ADC, your job is to deal damage and never die. It's basically that simple. It's to deal damage, never die, and to roam. But that's pretty much a task for everyone in the game. One thing that I see often is that people always stay in one lane. They only focus on themselves. They focus on farming, getting fed, going to the jungle. Like, it's so much things that distract people from actually doing what they're supposed to do. What comes first when you're playing Mobile Legends, when you're playing any team game, is obviously the team. Everything that you're doing is based around getting your team to the win. Like, that's what you're trying to do, is get your team to the win. So you should never have the mindset where I'm going to do this because this is what I want to do to get strong and try to win this game. It's not about you. It's always about we. It's always about us. It's always about what you're doing to benefit your team. It's not about you whatsoever. No matter what role you're playing, your team always comes first, even as an ADC. So I say that because I see so many times people need help in the game and their teammates just stay in their same lane the whole time, or they're jungling, or they're doing something, like they're putting things before their teammates. Look, I don't care if you're like if you're like 5 hits off of killing a minion or killing something in the jungle, and you see your teammate needs help, you stop immediately and go help your teammate, because that's very important. And because at the end of the game, when you lose that game, you're going to say, oh, you kept dying, you kept this, you kept that. Well, do you think that they would have died as much if you were there to help them out? If you came there and helped them in those situations where they were about to die, would they have died that much? And that's one of the things that I don't like when people start trash talking about the KD and stuff like that, because it's very easy to not play as a team and have very good stats. It's very easy to do that. I used to do that all the time, and I thought that I was just the best player in the world. Then I had to realize, no, just because I can go flawless every game don't make me a good player. That means that I know how to avoid situations, but I wasn't really looking out for my team. I was only looking out for myself, and it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that in Mobile Legends. It's a lot of selfishness in people in general. I mean, we all have a selfish side, but when you're playing a competitive game and a team game, you have to know how to put that selfishness away and keep giving your team your all, because that's really the only way that you're going to pull out these consistent wins. So when you're in a situation where it's a choice between doing something that only benefits you and doing something that supports a teammate, always make sure you go and support that teammate. As an ADC, you're not supposed to be dying, so you should obviously support your teammates with caution. If you have to get to a teammate, make sure you do it the safe way. I see people going right through the middle, the little river, right to try to help a teammate. That's the easiest way to get caught out. That's right in between the enemy's base, and that's right in between, well, not the enemy's base, but that's right in between the enemy's turf, and that's right in between your turf. It's not smart for people to go that route, especially if you don't have escapes. Like a Layla, I see Layla's doing it sometimes, and it just completely it kills me. Like, Layla has no escapes. She should never be in a situation like that ever. She has no way to get out of danger, and that's just not something that a Layla should be doing ever. Now, Bruno, he may have a little bit more leeway because he's capable of sliding, dashing out of danger if something comes about, so he can get to a teammate a lot quicker if he goes that route. And if you know how to basically scan the map and see where all the enemies are and stuff like that, it's safer for Bruno for sure. But Layla, it's probably not safe, even if you do know that, even if an enemy is anywhere near you, because somebody could easily come up, hit you with some crowd control, and it's nothing that you can do. So yeah, it's just not safe, honestly. If you see a teammate in need, it's your job to go and help them. As an ADC, it's everyone's job to go and help their teammates when they see a teammate in need, because 9 times out of 10, what people do most of the time is they just roam around. They roam around and try to keep picking people off. While they roam around and keep picking people off, that's getting their team stronger and stronger. They're just taking you all out one by one. They're getting stronger and stronger, just taking everybody out one by one. And the reason that that's possible a lot of times is because when people see that their lane is empty, they try to go for towers. They try to go farm. They be like, oh, this is a perfect time for me to go farm, when in reality, their lane is only empty because their person just went to go and kill somebody else. They went to team up with the rest of their teammates and go kill someone. So while you're farming or taking a tower or doing something that's not really going to help the team, your teammates are going to be dying, and that's going to get the other team more fed. So yeah, I mean, you can maybe get a tower from it, but while you're taking that tower, 3 people just got strong. 3 people just got stronger than everyone on your team. So are you going to keep being able to take towers? Like, you can take 2 towers. If they keep killing your whole team while you take all these towers, eventually it's going to get to the point where, yeah, you have more towers, so it looked like you're winning, but nobody on your team can kill the other team. So all they have to do is get together as a team, kill every single one of you all, and go in the game. It's super simple and super quick to take out towers late game. So you basically should not be trading people's lives for a tower, because a tower is basically, any ADC can take out a tower in a few shots when the late game comes. So it's very, very important that you always focus on your teammates for that reason. And you always have to roam. Like, you should be roaming. You see somebody needs some help, roam and help them. Only go for jungles and stuff like that when there's nothing else to do. When there's absolutely nothing else to do, then you should go to the jungle and stuff like that. You just have to remember that as an ADC, your job is to deal damage, which means you're going to be able to do the most damage in the game. And you're going to be able to do, like I said, what I call safe damage. Safe damage because you're supposed to be hiding behind stuff. People are not supposed to be getting to you. Obviously, an assassin's job is to get to you, but if you have teammates doing their job and stuff and you're aware, assassins won't be able to get to you. So basically, you can deal safe damage. While your teammates are taking all the hit and everyone is focusing on your teammates, you're just there and you can deal free damage on whoever's around. And that's the job of an ADC. That's why they're so important, and that's why they're so powerful, because they do the most damage and it's hard to get to them. It should be hard to get to them. And that's another thing we're going to be talking about here as well. When it comes to dealing damage, and basically that's why it's important for you to roam too as an ADC, because you can deal the most damage. You will be able to deal the most damage. So roaming and helping your teammates, they have a greater chance of killing anybody with you there, because you are the main killer on the team. That's your job, to be attacking and damaging people. Well, not even the main killer. You're the one who's going to be dealing the most damage. You're supposed to be able to put out the most damage. So that's why when you roam and help people, they have a greater chance of coming out victorious with you there as an ADC. So moving on to the my last point that I wanted to make here is the character selection. You have to select characters based on the team composition. A lot of people in Mobile Legends have a solo mindset, and that's why I hate heroes like Harley. I hate heroes like Harley because, yeah, he may be able to do a lot of damage, but that does not mean he's the best pick for a team. because what Harley is good at is singling out one person and annoying them. He's not just somebody who's gonna obliterate the entire team. I mean, yeah, he can. If he's fed enough and the team is weak enough and don't know what they're doing, then yeah, it's possible for somebody who deals a lot of damage to take everyone out. But no, if it's one skilled person against another skilled person, you have a Harley and the other person has somebody, more than likely it's going to just be a fair, even fight, and it's going to just take a while. That's not really a team-based character. As a mage, you're not supposed to just be dueling people. You're supposed to be supporting your team and bursting the enemy team. Like that's what gives the team that's the value that mages bring to the game. So when you're selecting characters, you don't base it off of, okay, this guy is very strong, I can carry the game by myself, this person. You're supposed to be selecting characters that, like Aurora. Aurora is a really good team character because she can freeze the entire team. She can damage the entire team. She does a lot for the team. Like, she brings a lot to the team. So you have Aurora that damages people, you have a tank that's tanking damage, you have a healer that's healing people, you have an assassin that can go through and clean up. Like, once Aurora bursts people down, if you have a Karina who can just go through and clean everybody up who got bursted down, like, those are the type of strategies that you have to come up with. Maybe that is your strategy. But a lot of the times in Mobile Legends, when people are selecting characters, there's no strategy involved with it. They're like, okay, this character is strong, or this character is the only character I know how to play, so let me just pick this character. That's not how you select characters, and that's very big when you're in ADC. You have to pick characters based on a team comp, because if your team has a team comp that's full of speedy people who moves very quickly and you all have no tank, you should never pick a Layla. Especially if you have no tank, you should never pick a Layla. And the reason for that is because Layla has no escape. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to keep finding yourself in situations where no one can tank damage for you and there's no way you can escape certain situations. It's going to be absolutely impossible for you to escape certain situations because no one can take damage for you. So when you have a team with no tank and you have a team that's full of speedy people, you want a more speedy ADC. You want to use a carry. You want to use a Bruno. But vice versa, if you have a team that has like 2 tanks or something, you have 2 tanks, a healer, and like a fighter with crowd control, then of course a slow moving ADC is perfectly fine. So Layla would be perfect in that scenario. It's all about the scenarios in which your character brings the most value to the game. But that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to break down some of the details and facts about the ADC role that a lot of people overlook, a lot of people don't really realize, and I wanted to give you all my perspective. Make sure you leave your perspective in the comment section down below. I definitely want to know what you all think, and what video would you like me to do next? What would you like me to cover? Would you like me to cover a specific ADC and the best team comps for them and stuff like that? Let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Drop that thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.
And when I started going numb is when I realized I was made for it. Yeah. So it's fuck all my feelings, I feel like the villain. Feel like I overstep boundaries, feel like you're better without me. Feel like I'm drowning, feel like I never have found me. I don't want no one around me. I don't think nobody knows how it feels when there's so many people yet no one to listen. I try to do good with the talent I'm given. I try to see clear yet attention's been blocking my vision. Surrounded by fake, and honestly lately debate how much more I can